Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be filming a YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be another Is It Worth the Hype? But it's going to be different. I'm not going to be reviewing a product or food or anything like that. Today we're going to be reviewing Is It Worth the Hype? A show, and today's show we're going to be reviewing is Outer Banks. So if you guys don't know what Outer Banks is, it's basically a 10 episode, one season series about a teenager enlists his best friends to hunt for a legendary treasure linked to his father's disappearance. Going into this, I literally only found the show through TikTok. We're just gonna get onto the video with me explaining everything. If you haven't watched the show yet, I do not recommend watching this video because we're going to be doing a lot of spoiler alerts. But yeah, make sure you guys go watch that show. It's such an amazing show, and I'm going to tell you guys the pros and cons of it. But we're going to get straight into the video. So this is a Netflix original show. I love Netflix shows. You guys know this, but I really like watching Netflix shows that have one series and then like it's gonna have another series in about a year or two. But I really like this show. I'm gonna be explaining all the characters, just going through and talking about all the characters individually. But yeah, these are going to be like the main characters that I looked at the whole entire time. So Sarah Cameron is one of the main characters. She is a high school student. She's 16 years old, and she lives with her stepmom, I think, her brother, her sister, and her father. The next I'm going to be talking about is Raph Cameron. So Raph Cameron is the brother, which he gets into drugs and stuff like that and gets kicked out of his house. Ward Cameron is the father, and he is in charge of the disappearance of the main character's father, John B. John B is the main character, and he is trying to find the disappearance of his father. And he enlists all of his friends. One of his best friends, which are mentioned, is JJ. He is what's it called? He is brought up by his father, he's a very abusive father. So yeah, he single father, and yeah, he just works for a local restaurant. Kiara is also she doesn't really talk about her parents that much, but yeah, she's one of the best friends. Pope is another best friend, and he's really a very intelligent person, and you'd see throughout the series that he's like, first he's really closed off and he's quiet and stuff like that, but like throughout the series he gets more in, like, you know, shows who he really is. And from the start I thought he was just gonna be one regular boy that just, you know, does you know, just cares about his college scholarships and college stuff. But at the end of the series you really see his true colors. So yeah, Topper is Sarah Cameron's boyfriend, and then after episode like 3 or 4, that's her ex. Wheezy Cameron is the little sister of Sarah Cameron. Deputy Tom is one of the deputies that helps with the you know, the killings and stuff like that. Sheriff Peterkin is the sheriff that gets shot. The next one is Rose. So Rose is the Sarah Cameron's stepmom, or I don't know if she's stepmom or whatever, because she has a different last name than the rest of the Cameron family, but she just does real estate for a living. And then Barry is a drug dealer as well. He's one of the Spanish drug dealers in the series that the brother Rafe buys the drugs from. So we're just going to be going into not explaining all 10 episodes, but kind of like starting from the beginning. So the beginning of the show starts with John B, the main character, is left by himself from his uncle and his father. So his father said a message to him in a cassette tape to him of why he disappeared or whatever, what he was going to do. So he goes into his father's office and he asks his three best friends, hey, my father left this for me, or I just want to know why he disappeared. So that started, and then at the same exact time, Sarah Cameron was dating Topper, and they are a very rich, high class family, and they tried to, John B works for their family, so they see them a lot. John B and Sarah Cameron were not the best of friends, and so one day they find a boat that was sunk in the water, and John B and his three friends were out on the water, and they saw this boat. So they stole Sarah Cameron's father's exhaust tanks or whatever, and went in the water and saw what it was. They went in the hotel or whatever, and then they got to a safe, and they had money and a gun in it. So they did that, and literally throughout the episodes, they were trying to find out how the father disappeared or whatever. And there was a time where this one lady came up. They saw her, and she was very terrified because she was trying to find out who killed the father or whatever, or why she disappeared or whatever. But that lady knew what happened from the jump, what happened to the father or whatever, because she was there that night. So Sarah Cameron and John B become very close, and they start dating. So they start dating and stuff like that. And at that time, John B did not have a legal guardian. He was about, I don't know if he was 17 or 18, but he did not have a legal guardian, so they were going to put him in a foster home. So they were trying to put him in a foster home, but Topper is a very jealous type, so they were on a roof or whatever, a balcony, and Topper just pushes him off of the balcony or whatever, and they start, Topper tells the police and stuff like that he did not have any involvement in him getting hurt, and John B is the father of Sarah Cameron says that, oh yeah, we can allow him in his home, in our home. So they allow him in their home, and that's their legal guardian. So one day, Sarah Cameron and John B were talking about the gold that the father left behind, because they one day went into their John B's father's office and saw a bunch of maps that John B's father was going and trying to find this gold. Keep in mind, they never knew that Sarah Cameron and John B's fathers were friends. So they were friends or whatever, and one day they were overheard hearing them talking about it. The father, Ward Cameron, was hearing them talk about the gold and stuff like that. So I was like, what is going to go on next? So they welcome them into their home, and John B and Ward just talk about what they're going to do the next day. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to go out fishing, and yeah, I'm just going to show you my boat or whatever. They go to this fishing trip, and it was supposed to be the same exact day where they actually set sail to find this gold, or this legendary treasure, whatever. So basically they go out on the boat, and they find out so many, John B finds so many clues out about what happened to his father and stuff like that. And he finds out that he killed his father because the lady that was talking about, that knew everything about it, was there and told John B the whole entire story of what happened to his father. So he did that, and he knew his true colors. And literally Mr. Cameron set him up and literally stabbed himself with something and said, hey, John B did that. So the sheriffs were onto John B from the start because he made up a lie. And the police officer, Sheriff Pinkerton, she did not buy this whatsoever. So they were onto this. And somehow they kind of, John B and Sheriff Pinkerton, Peterkin literally built a connection throughout the way because they both wanted to find out who killed their father, who killed John B's father and stuff like that. So they wanted to find that out. And literally throughout the series, the police officers, the friends of John B found out who killed the father, and literally Sarah Cameron found out her own father killed John B's father. So if you guys want to know what happened to the father, the John B, what's it called? John B's father, we don't know his name. I forget what his name is. Big J or something. I don't know. Big John and Ward Cameron were both on a boat setting sail to find this buried treasure. And they finally found the place. And then Sarah Cameron, John B's father found the treasure. So he found the treasure, and he was like, we're going to be rich. And literally he said, oh yeah, Ward Cameron was like, oh yeah, we're going to split this money or whatever. And then shook him and started getting mad at him because he wanted to do something better with the money. So he shook him and stuff like that. And then he literally pushed him and banged his head, and he got a concussion. So he did that, and then he was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get help, and Ward was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call someone. So they got the little walkie-talkie on the boat, and then he fake called someone to help him. So he never helped him, and then he pushed him off sail, sunk the boat. But people did not realize that the father was not dead. The father was not dead. The father just had a concussion. And literally he just crawled himself to shore and carved into this compass that said Redfield, and it's basically a hint for John B to find out how his father got killed. So fast forward to when John B's father found the gold. He put the gold in the helicopter, and they were all planning on to meet them because Sarah Cameron and her father Ward were going to go to the Bahamas or some tropical place like that, and going to get away and take all the gold with them to exchange it for money and stuff like that. So the mother, Rose, is a real estate agent, and she said, oh yeah, I have a place in this or whatever, and you guys can go. So they went, and the police officer, Sheriff Peterkin, she came, and then the son came, Raph came and shot Peterkin. So she was shot, and I was like, what the heck? What are they gonna do now? Because Raph's main reason was that he wanted to kill him to protect his father. So they did that. They were on a long chase. We're going to skip forward to one of the last episodes, and literally the reward, everyone was blaming John B except for his friends, Sarah Cameron, and that was basically it. Everyone was blaming John B for the killing of Sheriff Peterkin, and literally he had to be on a run for a couple of days, and they were trying to find out who actually killed Peterkin. So they were on the run for a couple of days, And yeah, so literally he was most wanted in the town, in the Outer Banks. He was most wanted, and the reward to find him was $25,000. So they kept on trying to find him and stuff like that. And then his three friends, Topper, JJ, and Kiara, I mean JJ, Kiara, and Pope, all three of them were planning on sending John B off so he can have a better life. So that happened. And then all this time John B and what's it called? Sarah Cameron were a couple this whole entire time. So they were trying to get away and stuff like that. And they called out big head like FBI people to try to find John B and Sarah Cameron. So Sarah Cameron's father manipulated the police officers and said that, oh yeah, she had ADHD and she was depressed and she's always hyper all the time or whatever like that, and said that type of stuff. So they were trying to trick the father, trying to trick John B and Sarah Cameron to come back because they were going into a tropical storm. So they were trying to do that and they never did that. So the police officers called in the three best friends, JJ, Kiara, and Pope, to do questioning, but they never did that. They came back because the tropical storm cut off all the signals, so they could not find Sarah Cameron and John B. So they tried to find them and they couldn't, and that could only mean one thing, that they were dead. But at the same time, on John B and Sarah Cameron's side, they were literally washed up and they had the piece of gold that they already melted previously, and they were shining onto the boat. And this is basically the last episode, last couple 10 minutes of the episode. So they swim to the boat, and then these fishermen let them on the huge boat and let them have coffee and tea and stuff like that. And they're like, where are you going? Where did you come from? And they said, that's not important. We just want to, whatever port you are headed to, we want to go to that port as well. So they were off to that port, and basically they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Nassau, basically is a tropical island. So they're like, oh, we're good, because the Rose, the stepmom, the realtor or whatever, was trying to was doing real estate and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, she has a house in Nassau, we can stay there for a bit. So yeah, that was basically the whole episode. And if you guys were wondering who killed the sheriff officer, well, it was Ralph Cameron, the brother, and his main reasoning for doing that is to protect the father, because he was wanted as well, and no one knew who killed John B's father, and it was literally Ward Cameron. So the people that know who killed the sheriff and the father was JJ, Kiara, Pope, Sarah Cameron, John B, the father, Rafe, and that's basically it. And Rafe this whole entire time was trying to be an ally with the police officers or sheriffs, whatever you want to call it, this whole entire time to try to find John B. And it was a very big reward, $25,000. And Rafe was talking to the drug dealers as well, because they have stolen money previously from the drug dealers. So they were trying to find out what that's all about. But that was basically the series. For my standpoint, I feel like it's an 8.5 out of 10. Honestly, I would give it 8.5 because yeah, there was some boring parts. The only boring parts I would basically, if you're not into that stuff, is basically when they were trying to find out the treasure and stuff like that, how much the gold was worth and stuff like that. That wasn't really important to me. And then also a lot of people were saying that the show is really racist, because every single show that you guys watch, a lot of these adventure shows and stuff like that, the black people get killed. And they're trying to find their killer or whatever like that. I honestly watched the show with an open book. I know what this show was all about and stuff like that. And literally all the people were talking about was John B and Sarah Cameron. That's it. But yeah, I want to let you guys, I want to know what you guys think about this series as well. And if you guys were wondering when a season 2 is coming out, it is coming out late 2020 at the earliest. So that is early as it can go. The producers said that they would be working on it right now, I'm pretty sure, if this corona did not happen. But they're going to be trying to make a season 2 next year, at the late next year. And I'm really excited for that series because they still haven't, the police officers still haven't gotten the full story. They haven't done the 3 confessionals from the best friends, and they still haven't found John B and Sarah Cameron. So no one's in custody yet. Topper was trying to take full custody, take full responsibility for the killing, but you know, it was so messy. But yeah, I feel like this little series thing is for people that love, like, it's not gonna say drama, but like if you watch Mako Mermaids and H2O, it's something like that. But I feel like, I don't know, it's a more like of a, I don't know, adventurous, fast-paced show. You have to kind of work your like brain. I feel like a lot of Netflix shows, you have to work your brain in order to do things. The producers and the TV show and the characters are not going to tell you what specifically happened, but you kind of have to register that in your brain and stuff like that. But yeah, that show was very, 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 very good. From my standpoint, the reason why I gave it 8.5 is because of the racial stuff or whatever. But honestly, sometimes it was boring. Like the beginning of it, I was like, I don't know, because I watched like until episode 4 like a couple of weeks ago, and it was not that good. Because I was like, you know, my parents were talking, my family was talking, whatever, when I was trying to watch the show. And I rewatched it on Tuesday until today. It literally only took me 4 days to watch this series. And I only watched about 3 or 4 hours per day. The shows range from about 30 to 50 minutes per show. So a half hour to an hour long, and they were pretty good. They showed a lot of evidence. If you guys were wondering when this show came out, it came out April 15th, 2020, so literally almost a month ago. But yeah, I wasn't aware of it. I only saw a bunch of TikToks about it, and I was like, what the heck? So I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time. I'm done with classes, so I watched it. And I just want you guys to know, if you guys have not watched the series, make sure you guys go watch the series, because I have left a lot of details for you guys to watch and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys can judge the show if you, whatever you think. And the question of this video is it worth the hype? And I feel like it kind of is and kind of not. I feel like people overhype the show way too much. There's like some people that like Outer Banks, Paradise on Earth, or something like that. But a lot of people, this show, I feel like it's a typical show. I'm gonna tell you guys my pros and cons. So real quick, so pros of it was a really good, well-developed show. I feel like the ratings of it, I literally looked up the ratings before this video, but the ratings was a 7.6 out of 10. I don't know what that was about. I feel like it was only because the average Netflix show I've realized is about 8 to 15 episodes, and it was about in the middle. It was only a 10 episode series. I want to know what they're going to do for the next season, because it was short. I feel like they could have, you know, I mean, it was kind of a cliffhanger and stuff like that. So yeah, some cons to it. I felt like some of the characters were not needed. I felt like, you know, some of the share, like, when I looked at the main characters, there was like so many other characters I did not have to know about. Like, I feel like they could have done something with the lady that knew about John B's father getting killed. I feel like they could have done something with her, but literally they only showed her in 2 or 3 episodes, and then she vanished. And then, you know, another con was at the beginning of the show. You have to really be glued to your electronic or television or tablet, phone, or whatever, wherever you're watching Netflix. Make sure you guys literally watch the whole entire show, and especially the first episode, because John B basically narrates the characters. Like he literally, because like I had to watch like that episode like 2 or 3 times because I didn't know who the episode, like who these people were. Like I don't even know who the best friends were or whatever, so I had to like keep on watching it, and I even had to look up the characters, so I really didn't know who the names of the characters were. You have to watch the first episode to know who everyone is. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they're really like over exaggerating how they're, oh my gosh, I'm gonna watch this episode, I'm gonna watch the series like 4 times, it's so good. No, I feel like it's way too overhyped, to be honest. The show overall, like I said, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10, but I feel like it is one of those shows that literally give you a cliffhanger at the end. Like, it gave us a cliffhanger at the end because it literally left us off when Sarah Cameron and John B were on the boat going to Nassau. We didn't know if they made it. We didn't know if they were on, if the fishermen already knew what they were onto. So yeah. So honestly, I am so excited for the next Is It Worth the Hypes, because not this Friday, today's Friday, but the next Friday in about a week, season 3 or 4 of 13 Reasons Why is coming on, and I'm so excited. I want to know what's gonna happen in this series, because honestly, I forget what happened at the end of season 2 or 3, whatever episode. I feel like people were getting prosecuted and stuff like that, but I don't know what's gonna happen, because I felt like a lot of people, the first episode came in about 2018 or something, and they just had 13 episodes for 13 tapes for Hannah Baker, and I want to know. So I might do Is It Worth the Hype video on that for that whole entire season, but it's probably gonna have to be the Friday after it airs, because I'm gonna have to take notes, not during the show, but like, you know, mental notes, and then after watching the whole series, take more notes. So I feel like all these Is It Worth the Hype videos are going to be on Fridays, so you guys can watch the show or try this product for the whole entire week and stuff like that. I'm so excited for something because it's coming in the mail for me to review, and I am so excited. I'm supporting small YouTubers, small business platforms, because I am a small, tiny YouTube platform. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you guys liked knowing my point of view of me watching the show. But if you watch this video without watching the show, and you just wanted to you know, get to know what the show is all about, I hope you guys got a lot of facts about it. But yeah, I really hope you guys like the show, and make sure you guys tag me. All my socials are down below. I'm currently not on Snapchat right now because it's too much drama filled, but I am on Instagram. But make sure you guys, if you guys want to collab, if you guys want to do any of that jazz, make sure you guys contact me via Instagram or via Snapchat. If you contact me via Snapchat, I'll get it in about a week or so or whatever. But yeah, this video was on the longer side, even though I said my videos are going to be 15 to 20 minutes long for this series. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and see you guys next time. And let me know down below what shows you want me to review, because I will watch anything. So yeah, This video was pretty long because I was explaining the show. So yeah, love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video.